Mystic GLoLady, back again for another month. This reading is for Aries for August 2018. And this is what I call my soul chart. It is my cheat sheet, my invention that I have been working on for my indefinite chaos. Learn astrology's basic science. And I'm going to explain why this will be so helpful for you. I have my cards, so it talks about Aries. And also what Aries will do in the first house. And one of the things when you are using the glyphs, when you put your glyphs into the houses as such, you can also see that it tells you how many days and which sign that it rules, and which is exalted and which is debilitated, which will automatically tell you, oh dear, for 30 days, if the sun is in Aries, it's going to be real exciting. But the sun is not in Aries this month. The sun is in Leo, right there. So that's why my indefinite chaos, my cheat sheets, as I have been calling them, will help you learn the astrology basic science. So, what do we have this month coming up, Aries? Let's see. We'll go back to Aries in the first house. Self-starter, restless, very direct. Well, that's you to begin with. So, as we go, we have Chiron in there in the first house. So you are working on yourself, and Chiron is retrograde. So you're going back over, are your hurts something that you have not dealt with, and do you need to deal with them? What do you need to deal with? Because if you still have that thorn in your side and you don't get it out, you're probably going to be taking it out on other people, and that's not always so good now, is it? Now, when we're coming into your second house of finances and possessions, we have Uranus in there, and Uranus is retrograde in Taurus. So when we are questioning Uranus and how is that going to affect us, well, it's going to be affecting you for a while, because Uranus takes 7 years to go through one sign. Okay? And it's also not happy in the sign of Taurus, and that is in your finances. So what are you gonna do about it? What are you doing with your finances? Are you spending your money wisely? Or are you thinking of new ways to spend your money? Considering it's 7 years and it's retrograde on the 9th, and it's only at 2 degrees, you better learn your lessons with your finances. You better get a handle on your spending, because if you don't, you are definitely not going to be happy. Okay? So learn those lessons well. Now, when we're coming up to the third house of communications and short travels, you just have your Gemini in there. And if you're using the cheat sheets that I give you, right here. You can see Gemini in the third house. It's more of a changeable mind and you enjoy travel. So would you rather, instead of fight, you flight? And therefore, you are using your money for that flight instead of facing those fears and speaking what you need to speak about. As we come into the fourth house, you have Cancer in your fourth house. And when you are looking at the cheat sheets, you're seeing a strong need for security and roots. So, is your home what you really want? Or are you running away from your home? As we go into the fifth house, you have the sun sitting in there. The sun is at 8 degrees. It changes to Virgo on the 24th, and it ends the end of the month at 7 degrees of Virgo. So it's going to be shining down on top of your fun, creativity, sex, your children, as well as you have Mercury in there. And Mercury, starting out, is retrograde, and it will turn direct on the 19th. So your communications might seem that it's not really, how are you communicating? And when we look at what Mercury in the fifth house, fertile brain, flair for writing, are you using your communications to help you have fun? Are you creating new things, new ways to have fun? Are you talking about new ways? Is it just in your mind that you are going over, let me see, how can I do this? What do I want to do? That's definitely going to be one of those questions for the month of August. As we move into the sixth house, and you have Virgo in the sixth house, and find your cheat sheet on there. And Virgo in the sixth house is meticulous work, research, and it's supportive. And you also have a new moon in there on the 11th. So what new beginnings are you going to be starting with health, service, daily routine, and your work? Are you contemplating new work? Are you just thinking about new work? What new health routines have you been looking into? You have Venus in there at 23 degrees to begin with. So when you are looking at, what did I do with that? There we go. When you are looking at Venus in your sixth house, pleasure in a job well done. And Venus is going to be moving on and going into your relationships and partnerships in the seventh house of Libra. Balance, multiple partners, flirt when Libra is going through. Are you looking at your options? Here we have ideal partner, needs same returned. So if you're going out with people and they just aren't good for you and you know it and you just want to have fun, okay, cool. Go have fun. But remember, if you settle for less is what you're going to get, and that ideal partner is going to be passing you by if you are with someone else. So go, flirt, have fun, but make sure if you're going to settle down that that person is giving you what you really need. As we go on, and in the 8th house you have Scorpio in there. Here we go, Scorpio in the 8th house, secretive in sex and with resources. Woohoo! Do you have some money that you're not telling anybody about? You have spiritualism. You have Jupiter in there, I should say. And Jupiter in the 8th house talks about spiritualism and good luck with money. Okay, those of you who have been with me for a while will remember that I do have animals. And my animals like to give their 2 cents in the readings also. So I took the time to just put the glyphs up around. That way you can follow through and see all the information that I have on there, and just give you another reason why indefinite chaos is an easy way to learn astrology basic science. Now, let me go back to what I was talking about with Jupiter in the 8th house. And when I'm talking about Jupiter, and it's like that good luck with money coming in from other people, but remember the challenges that you have over in the 2nd house with how to spend that money. Just because there's a good chunk of change that you might be looking at, that doesn't always mean that you're going to spend it wisely. So just remember to consider that. Alrighty? Now, when we're going into the 9th house, the 9th house, you have Sagittarius in there, that 9th house of higher learning, long distance travel, and Sagittarius in there. There you go. Guru, intellect, traveler, politics. So that is your energy that you're always working with in that 9th house. As we come to the 10th house, the 10th house is your career house. And as you can see, what's going on in there? Because there's a whole bunch of stuff that's in that 10th house, your career house. Okay? Now, with Capricorn in there, responsible, executive, daring, but then you also have Pluto, Saturn, and Mars. Now Mars starting out, okay, it's going to be retrograde in Aquarius at the beginning of the month, and then on the 14th it's coming back into Capricorn. So what kind of new job? Are you changing new jobs? Are you standing up for yourself in new positions or old positions? You know, what needs to change? And it looks like there is going to be some change in there. Now, beginning with Mars retrograde going back into, it's going to go direct on the 28th. So what needs to change? What kind of work do you need to do in order to make that change in the month of August? And with Lilith in there, things are going to be changing. As we move along to the 11th house, your friends, your associates, your hopes and wishes, okay? You have a full moon in there on the 26th. Now there again, it could be different dates. So I should say around the 26th, depending on if your time code is Eastern Standard Time in the United States. Of course, it's going to be different than, if you're over in New Zealand or something. Okay, so when you're looking at the the full moon on the 26th, the moon, many acquaintances, few friends. Are you going to be weeding out those friends or so-called friends that you have in your life. If those friends are not benefiting you, then the end of the month is a good time to let go of things that have been dragging you down. Now, as we go into the 12th house, the hidden enemies, secrets, jails, institutions, you have Neptune in there. Now, Neptune is known as the artistic creativity, the psychic healing, and you have Pisces in there, the metaphysical, and the need to be alone, and being in that skeleton closet. Now, with Neptune retrograde is you're seeing the truth a little bit easier rather than the illusions and delusions of Neptune when it is going direct. Neptune, you don't always see things clearly, but with a retrograde, take a good look in that skeleton closet and figure out what needs to go. What needs to go, what needs to stay in order to be happy. So as you're looking at your chart on whole, the communications and other people's money is going to be one of those highlights. And just don't go with someone because they have money and think that they are an ideal partner, because, well, you know, wealth is not monetary, and money can't buy happiness. So if they aren't what you really, really want in an ideal partner, maybe that's going to be one of those that you're going to be letting go of towards the end of the month. So what kind of new things is on your agenda for the month of August, Aries? Maybe buying one of the downloads for Indefinite Chaos so you can learn astrology basic science, and then you can get their birth date and figure out where their planets fit into your houses. The ephemeris. That is what you need to look up birth dates, where the planets are on your date of birth. And you see the glyphs. I have pink, I have plain, I have blue. That way you can put many different people in your chart and see how they are going to affect you. Are they going to affect you good or not? So Aries, have a great August, and I will see you in September. Love you. Woohoo! If you've always wanted to learn astrology, this is exactly what you need. Learn astrology basic science quick and easy. If you were to put your birth chart in there, where the planets were at your time of birth, you can really see how it is affecting you. And to do that, you check it out with an ephemeris. And I'm going to show you how to do all these things. Instructions for use. The 12th house means the first house, the second house, your third house, your fourth house, etc., etc., etc. Your signs. What does Virgo mean? There is the glyph. Learn all about it. Do you know what they are? These are my indefinite chaos. Learn astrology basic science. And for this month, you too can learn Astrology Basic Science. And you will also receive my glyphs so that you can put the glyphs on your planets as they go. Your indefinite chaos cards also include instructions for use. I've tried to keep it very basic, and I have the colors and symbols to help you recognize. I'm going to be offering all of my cards and paperwork for a download that you may download them, and if you would like, laminate. So for $25 you can PayPal me GLoLady, and I will send you a folder, and you may, as I said, download these. You get the whole complete package of Learn Astrology Basic Science. So if you're interested in learning what those astrologers are talking about, life will make a whole lot more sense when you learn all about you, and then you learn all about someone else, and then you stop taking things so personal, because you know, it's just me being me, it's just them being them. No big deal. It's in the stars. Indefinite chaos. Learn Astrology Basic Science is the GLoLady way to learn how the planetary aspects affect our lives.